This broadcast has been activated because of an observation you have made, one that defies simple explanation. Look out your window. Look at your neighbor's fence. It's wet, isn't it? It was wet yesterday during the heat wave. It was wet last week when there was no rain. It glistens under the sun with a strange, oily sheen that never seems to dry. You have tried to rationalize it. You've told yourself it's a new type of sealant or a faulty sprinkler system. We are here to tell you the truth. It is not water, and the fence is not wet. It is weeping. The substance on the fence is a biological secretion, the byproduct of a hygroscopic contaminant. This is not a simple mold or fungus. It is a non-terrestrial microbial life form. It is an alien bacteria that does not consume organic matter in the way terrestrial life does. Instead, it absorbs ambient moisture from the air and uses it as a medium to break down and restructure matter at a cellular level. The fence is not rotting. It is being rewritten. How is this possible? The leading theory is xenomorphic transmutation. The entity's secretions contain complex enzymes that dissolve the lignin and cellulose in the wood, not for consumption, but to create a porous, sponge-like lattice. This new structure is far more efficient at absorbing and retaining atmospheric humidity. The fence is no longer just a fence. It is being terraformed into a self-sustaining habitat, a nest for an alien biology. This entity operates under a terrifying variant of the observer effect we call the proximity rule. It is drawn to complex biological energy signatures. Your presence, your life force, your simple act of observing it from your window acts as a catalyst. It accelerates its growth. Have you noticed the wet patch seems larger after you've spent time in your yard? It is not your imagination. Your attention is like sunlight to a plant. You are helping it grow. Case file 001. The Miller household. They were the first documented case. A quiet family in a new suburban development. Their neighbor's fence began showing the symptoms. Mr. Miller's journal is our primary source. Day 1. Neighbor's fence is always damp. Strange. Day 15. The wet spot is bigger. It has a strange, sweet smell, like rotting fruit and ozone. Day 30. The kids say they see things moving in the glistening parts of the fence at dusk. He was documenting a home invasion at a microbial level. The smell is a key component of the entity's life cycle. That sweet, cloying odor is a chemoattractant. On a biological level, it is designed to be intriguing, not repulsive. Your curiosity will eventually compel you to make the first mistake. Touching it. You will walk over to the fence, telling yourself you just want to see what it feels like. You will reach out and touch the wet surface. The liquid is not just a secretion. It is a medium for its spores. They are microscopic, far smaller than any terrestrial bacteria. Upon contact, they immediately absorb through your skin. There is no wound, no rash, no initial sign of infection. But they are inside you, They will travel through your bloodstream, dormant, waiting. You will wipe your hand, walk back to your house, and feel fine. You will not be fine. Days after contact, the second symptom will begin. You will feel an unquenchable thirst. No amount of water will satisfy it. Your body is not dehydrated. The spores inside you have activated, and they are now hijacking your cellular processes, demanding moisture. They are beginning their own terraforming project, but this time, the environment they are changing is you. This supports the biological hijacking hypothesis. The entity is a biological programmer. The spores act like a retrovirus, inserting their own genetic code into your cells, starting with your sweat glands. They rewrite their function. Your sweat glands will no longer produce sweat to cool you down. They will be converted into factories, producing the same hygroscopic secretion that is on the fence. Your body is being turned into a mobile incubator. This leads to the weeping stage. You will notice your skin is always damp, clammy. A thin, oily sheen will cover your body, a sheen that never dries. It will have the same sweet, rotten smell as the fence. You will try to wash it off, but it will return instantly. It is not on you. It is coming from you. You are now a source of the contamination. You are becoming the fence. You will become a pariah. Your loved ones will recoil from your strange, damp touch and the sweet, sickly smell that follows you everywhere. You will try to explain, but how can you? You will isolate yourself, ashamed and terrified. This is part of the process. The entity needs you alone. It needs you to stop interacting with others, to stop spreading the spores too thinly. It needs to concentrate its efforts on its primary host, you. At this point, you will realize you haven't seen your neighbor in weeks, the one whose fence started it all. In a moment of dread, you might look up their case file, as we did for the miller's neighbor. The file is simple: missing person. The authorities found the house empty, but with one strange detail. Every surface in the house, the walls, the floors, the furniture, was dripping with the same thick, oily secretion. The house had become a nest. The entity's final goal is not to kill you. It is integration. As your body produces more of the secretion, your own cellular structure will begin to break down. You will become weak, lethargic. You will feel an overwhelming urge to find a dark, damp, enclosed space. The spores are directing you. They are guiding their mobile nest to its final resting place. The host's consciousness fades as their body becomes little more than a nutrient sac, a biological battery for the growing colony. The final resting place becomes a nursery. The host's body will fully dissolve, leaving behind a large, pulsating, gelatinous mass of the entity's biomass. This mass will continue to secrete the hygroscopic fluid, spreading across surfaces, turning an entire room, and then an entire house, into a new, larger nest. The fence was just the seed. The neighbor was the fertilizer. The house is the fruit. From this new, larger nest, the cycle will begin again. The secretions will find a way outside, through pipes, under doors, through cracks in the foundation. It will find a new object to colonize, another fence, a garden shed, the side of another house, a new lure for a new victim. The contamination spreads exponentially, one suburban lot at a time. A silent, creeping plague. If you have made contact, your chances are slim, but survival is not impossible. The entity and its spores are moisture-based. Your only hope is radical, aggressive dehydration. You must use desiccants, agents that absorb moisture. Surround yourself with silica gel, calcium chloride. Use industrial dehumidifiers. You must create an environment so arid that the spores inside you cannot replicate. You must turn your body into a desert. The source must be eliminated. The nest, the fence, the house must be destroyed. The entity is resilient, but it is not indestructible. It has one critical weakness: fire. Extreme heat will incinerate the biomass and neutralize the enzymes. A controlled burning is the only way to be sure. This is why entire properties in these contamination zones are subject to emergency fire cleanse protocols. It is the only way to stop the spread. This is not an isolated problem. We have confirmed hygroscopic contamination events on every continent with significant suburban development. It spreads through contaminated soil and potted plants, through reclaimed lumber, through the water system. It is a slow-motion pandemic, and the source of the initial seeding event remains unknown. We are fighting a war we didn't know had started. You now have the knowledge. You will never look at a damp spot on a wall the same way again. You will eye your neighbors with suspicion. You will be acutely aware of any strange, sweet smells on the breeze. This broadcast is your final warning. The next time you see that impossible moisture, do not approach it. Do not touch it. Do not even breathe its scent for too long. Report it. And if you have already made contact, your fight for survival begins now. The fence is not just a boundary between properties. It is the border between our world and theirs. And it is dissolving. Stay dry.